All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessing, many salutations unto you elect across the four winds of this earth, fulfilling your lots in all truth and all sincerity. I'm the brother Sha'ar from the Great Millstone Dallas branch, coming at you all with another lesson through the Spirit. Lord's willing, this lesson is edifying. And we are the Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and other various people that might look like other nations but believe on this doctrine wholeheartedly in sincerity and in truth. That makes you a Hebrew Israelite according to the Spirit. All right. Now, what I want to go into today is going to be as pertaining to an article that brothers have been passing around. And it's a very interesting article when you read it, because what I've received out of it is the fact that, you know, this truth is spreading like wildfire. You know, it's spreading like wildfire. And you're constantly seeing younger and younger individuals subscribe to the name of Israel, as the prophecies say that would take place in Isaiah the 44th chapter. So it's very beautiful. It's very beautiful seeing the mass awakening that's taking place, because we look at it as prophecy being fulfilled. Okay. Now, I want to go into this article here. You know, I'm going to read it. I'm going to bring out a few precepts, and Lord's willing, this lesson here is edifying. All right. So just to give an introduction, this right here, this article that I'm going into, and Lord's willing, I remember I'll post it in the description, the description, or the description joint on YouTube. That way y'all can check it out, read it when you get a chance to. But I'm gonna just read the title of it. It says 7 high school football coaches lose jobs over allegations they made a Hebrew Israelite player eat a pizza that had contained pork. Now, this is on CNN, and this was also on New York Times. Okay. Now I'm gonna tell y'all this because this high school is called McKinley High School in Canton, Ohio. And that's actually my hometown. That's where I grew up at, is Canton, Ohio. Me and my brother, the priest Tazamah, from down here in the Dallas camp. And I'm very familiar with this school. I'm very familiar with this area. All right. That actually their football stadium was my home football stadium. So I'm very familiar with this area, very familiar with a lot of people. You know, so when I saw this article and brother sent it to me, I'm looking at it like little old Canton, Ohio. This event that happened in little old Canton, Ohio, made national news. Again, Canton is not a notorious city. It's very small. You know, it's known for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, the President William McKinley Monument, but that's pretty much it. You know, there's not really a lot going on over there other than those two things. So when I saw the article first, but I didn't know the high school or anything like that. And then there's more articles resurfacing going into McKinley High School, looking like, wow, like this little old area made national news, you know. But it's very beautiful to see that this thing of ours, with us being Hebrew Israelites, are spreading, as I mentioned before, because one without proper understanding will look at this and they'll be thinking that it's talking about a so-called Jew or something like that. All right. But this is a Hebrew Israelite. This is a brother. This is a Jake. All right. When you look at McKinley High School, that's like 95% Jake. All right. You got gangbangers that go to their school, different niggas that's involved in BS. You know, out of all the little cities in America, Canton is one of the top 5 when it comes to murders. So just going into how it's predominantly Jake, namely the Southern Kingdom, that's within that city and that go to that school. So this wasn't no so-called Jew. This wasn't no rat that they forced to eat a pepperoni pizza. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't no rat. This was an Israelite from the Southern Kingdom. Okay. So I'm going to read this article. It says 7 out of 8 Ohio high school football coaches who allegedly forced a Hebrew Israelite player to eat a pizza that previously had pork on it, despite knowing his beliefs, forbade him from eating it. All right. So he didn't care that he didn't eat pork. He didn't care that this young man, you know, it was part of his belief. It was part of his faith. It's part of our faith. He doesn't care. And this is the mentality that our people have. They've been so far gone and so convoluted within a society and taking on the customs of these heathen that we've been surrounded by. They look at it as just another thing. They look at pork as just another thing. All right. And it shows you the lack of care. All right. And the lack of empathy that our people have toward our belief. Our people do not care. All right. The majority of our fathers don't care. The majority of our mothers don't care. The majority of our grandparents don't care. The majority of our relatives don't care. The majority of our friends don't care. So to wake up unto this truth, into this knowledge in a wicked generation where nobody's mind is truly set on the Lord is an amazing thing, especially people coming in very young in their younger years. Because those years, this was a 17-year-old young man. He could be involved in a bunch of other stuff, and he might be. You know what I'm saying? He still might be, but he believes he's an Israelite. He knows he's an Israelite. And that's a beautiful thing. And when you look at the punishment and the judgment of those coaches getting fired, all right, that was a beautiful thing because that was the vengeance of the Lord, man. The Lord vindicated this young man. That's how I look at it when I read this. Yeah, he might have succumbed to it. He might have ate the pork at a point of time. And obviously we don't agree with it because that's against our faith. The scriptures tells us, the Lord tells us what animals to eat, and he tells us what animals not to eat. All right. Now, when you go into eating pork, it's a sin. All right. And we do not encourage you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to eat that shit. All right. We don't encourage y'all to eat swine. We don't encourage y'all to eat shrimp. OK, prawns. OK, anything that's in the water that doesn't have scales, you ain't supposed to eat it. All right. And any animal, any of the cattle. All right. Any of these beasts that are out here that are cloven footed and that don't have split hooves, we don't encourage y'all to eat it unless it cheweth of the cud. OK, and swine does not. All right. It's a very abominable animal. So this young man ate it. Now, does that mean that's a sin unto death? Absolutely not. All right. He just got a big reality check. All right. You ain't supposed to be going around, especially younger individuals, telling everybody you're Israelite. And that's what he was doing. OK, but it's a beautiful thing that he was vindicated by the Lord. And I hope this young brother ends up continuing to grow in the faith the longer we're here. You know what I'm saying? Call on the name of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, man. And hopefully he don't eat pork no more. OK, but when you continue in this article, it says they had all been previously. Hold on one sec. Slide. It says they had all been previously suspended. It is unclear if the 8 coach had been, it's supposed to say coaches, but it says coach, but it's okay. It says has been exonerated of wrongdoing or will face any further disciplinary action from the district. Local police are investigating the incident. Okay. It says following the district's owner investigation, the Canton City Board of Education voted unanimously during a special meeting Thursday evening to not renew the contracts of head football coach Marcus Watley and the 6 other coaches. The board wrote it in the community-wide letter. All right. And these coaches that are getting fired is a very big deal because I'm going to tell you what. McKinley football, McKinley High School, Canton McKinley, that's nationally known. That football program is nationally known. It's so nationally known that their rivalry, and I'm just telling you a little bit because I'm from up there, but their rivalry, are the Massillon Tigers, which is about 15 minutes away from Canton, but that is the biggest high school football rivalry in the country. And there's actually Vegas bets that they place for that football game. And the reason why I'm going to that in detail, these wasn't no low-level coaches. This coach right here wasn't no low-level coach. All right. This football program has no notoriety. All right. I can actually say, other than the Pro Football Hall of Fame and the William McKinley Monument that's out there, this high school right here in their football program is also known. OK, and when they're doing good, they play different teams throughout the country. So this is a very big deal that this coach got fired is what I'm saying. It's a very big deal. So continuing the article, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I want to read quite a bit. And then I'm going to bring out some precepts because the Lord vindicated this young man. But it also shows you that when you have the truth in your life, and you follow Yahweh and you follow Yahweh Shai, all right, Satan comes at you in stranger angles and harder ways. And this was a trial period for that brother. Okay. And I'll read that precept here in a second. But when he continued, it says the 17-year-old student who hasn't been named is a rising senior at Canton McKinley High School, where he was an offensive lineman on the football team. After skipping an early weightlifting session because of an injury, the team's coaches told him to eat an entire pepperoni pizza as punishment on May 24th. Man, that's childish, man. I'm going to say that too. Jake is extremely childish. All right, you a grown man forcing this boy to eat a whole pizza. Now, he's an offensive lineman. He probably eats a lot at their meals and everything like that, laughs and jokes. It's probably a young Jake that talks shit too. You know what I'm saying? Jokes around and everything, man. But being an adult, you don't do stuff like that, man. That's very childish. You know, especially if you know that it's against what he believes in. Granted, he shouldn't be going around telling everybody. And young man, if you're listening to this lesson, you know what I'm saying? This is a learning experience for you. You don't go around telling everybody what you believe in. They're not going to get it. You know, they're not going to look at you like you're cool, like you're different. All right. It's only going to be more of a thorn in your side when you tell everybody about what you believe in, because then they're going to slander. They're going to scoff. All right. Just as this example here in this article about that coach forcing this man to eat this whole pepperoni pizza. OK. And you got turkey pepperoni as well. That's out there for all y'all that like pizza, man. There's turkey pepperoni. I know the priest Kadar in our camp, goes into the lawful dishes, and he loves to go into the alternatives, man. So shout out to QD. But when he continued, it says the team's coaches told him to eat an entire pepperoni pizza as punishment on May 24th, while his teammates were forced to carry heavy weight discs as they exercised around him. Attorney Edward Gilbert told CNN. The teenager reminded the head coach multiple times that he did not eat pork. The student had previously told coaching staff multiple times that he was a Hebrew Israelite. I'm glad they didn't say black Hebrew Israelite neither. All right. But again, this is showing us that this thing of ours is spreading like a righteous plague. It says, and did not eat pork because of his religion, the attorney added. Quote, it is our contention that the coach was fully aware of this and intentionally ordered a pork pizza for his punishment, unquote, Gilbert said. After the coaches yelled at him and threatened the team with more exercises, the student was allowed to take off the pepperoni slices and some of the cheese and subsequently ate the pizza, despite considering it's still unclean because of pork residue, according to the attorney, which is true. So this shows you that this young man he also listens, man. Now, I don't know what camp he's involved in. I know when I was coming in as a young man, I'm still a young man, but as a younger man of the truth, I was kind of teeter-totting around different camps. I was listening to different ones until the Spirit landed me, which I'm extremely grateful for, to be under the banner of a great millstone through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And that would be a lovely thing, if this brother, was listening to the apostles and elders all the way on down. All right. But when you go into this, all right, he said he picked off the pepperoni slices and he was allowed to eat it. All right. But he still didn't want to do that because of the residue that's there, which is true. For you younger individuals that are in the truth, your best bet is to just stay away from those type of products. Now, obviously, you go to restaurants, they're going to use the same utensils that they cut the steak with or the chicken with. Unfortunately, our bread is defiled among the Gentiles, as the scriptures say. But there's still things that we can do, and there's still, as I worded it earlier, alternatives to the abominable foods that are out here. All right, if you like pepperoni, there's turkey pepperoni. You know what I'm saying? If you like hot dogs and sausage in the world and everything, there's an alternative to it, which is beef, chicken, turkey. But you got to be aware of the casing that's on that, because a lot of times they'll use pork casing still. All right, but there's times they'll use lamb collagen or beef collagen, which is the casing. So it really just goes into being circumspect in what you're putting in your body. You know what I'm saying? But I read part of that article. I'm going to post it, Lord's will I remember to, on the description box. And I'm going to go into some precepts. All right. Because ultimately, first and foremost, I will say this. It was a great thing that those coaches got fired. And that was judgment from the Lord. That young man could have got angry and upset, which I'm pretty sure he did. Any one of us at that age would have got upset and would have got mad, you know. But at the end of the day, the Lord is going to fight for you. All right. The Lord is going to fight for you. Now let's get some precepts real quick. Hold on one sec. So this is the book of Romans chapter 12, verse 19. Bear with me. Now let's read this. It's a real quick precept. It says, hold on. Oh, it's 19. Hold on. This is Romans 12 and 19. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at verse 18 because it shows us we have to be prudent in this knowledge. You can't walk around telling everybody you're Israelite. All right. I believe it's written of in Timothy. It says, study to be quiet. Okay. It says, study to be quiet. And I'll bring that precept out after this. But it says, if it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. All right. And this is going into our daily lives. All right. This is going into our walks, whether you're at school, whether you're at work, whatever the case is, you want to make sure that you're walking prudent and circumspectly, because we know how Satan is, and he can enter into any one of these people and bug you, especially if you're going around telling them what you believe in. OK. Now, I just want to go into this word peaceably just because I'm curious of what it says. But it says to make peace, to cultivate or keep peace, harmony, to be at peace, to live in peace. So in your daily lives, if you're going around, and you might not be telling everybody you're Hebrew Israelite, obviously, but it even goes into limiting how many people that you're telling. All right. Because I guarantee you this, about a 95% chance you tell your parents about it. They're not going to get it. They're going to look at you like you're crazy. You tell your coaches about it, your peers about it. And again, you saw the article, the coaching staff forced that young man to eat a whole pepperoni pizza. But if you live peaceably among them and harmonious and you don't put it out there, and that's different. And there's different ways to do it, because the young man, it might have been a team meal one day and they had pasta or something. And he's like, I don't eat pork. They ask why. He might have said, this part of my religion. But that's going to administer questions. People are going to be like, what religion is that? Are you a Muslim? This, that, and the third. Pretty sure the young man said, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. And it went from there. So there's different ways to do it. People ask you, why don't you eat pork? Why don't you do this? Oh, I'm just allergic to it. I'm allergic. If you say you're allergic to it, they can't force you to eat the pizza, because in their mind, you're allergic to it. It's not because you're a Hebrew Israelite. It's because you're allergic to it. So it's using subtlety around these people. You know what I'm saying? It's using subtlety around these people. And it's even written of in Proverbs, loosely paraphrasing, but it goes into loosely paraphrasing how a subtle man is going to stay quiet and not speak a lot of things. All right. It says a subtle man will, it goes into how he's going to, matter of fact, let's see here. Prudent man. It's in Proverbs. There we go. Proverbs 12 and 23. A prudent man concealeth knowledge, but the hearts of fools proclaimeth foolishness. Now, obviously, this knowledge of ours, this thing of ours isn't foolish, but it's a foolish thing to go around telling people that. All right. But when you go into prudent, the word means subtle, meaning sly. All right. And there's ways that you can tell the truth, but you do it in a way. All right. To the point where it's not going to minister questions to these people. All right. Because through the spirit, we are allergic to pork. OK, you believe in this knowledge and going to eat some pork. The Lord will jack you up. Eat some shrimp. The Lord will tear you up. OK, these heathen can do it. 2/3 of our own people can do it. And look at Jake. High blood pressure, gout. Grandma got to get a leg cut off because of her diabetes. OK, and that's due to their diets. And the majority of our people's diets are horrible because of the things that they consume, the abominable things that they willingly consume. OK, so again, it says a prudent man concealeth knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaim foolishness. So we want to make sure that we're being prudent enough to conceal what we do and what we believe in the world, at school, at your jobs, at the park, wherever you're at. Everybody don't got to know what you are. Because they're going to find out. It's going to come a point where they're going to find out, and that's when the Lord has it happen. All right, when we're on the news, this, that, and the third. Now, obviously, this event in McKinley High School happened, and it was written, for this young man's growth. Hopefully, he stays in the faith. And it's also written for us so we can talk about it, look at this, and give all praise to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai that this knowledge is spreading. All right, so it was written. It happened, But this lesson, acts more so to you young men, even you young women that are in the truth and believe. Everybody don't got to know. Okay, yeah, we go on the highways and hedges. We proclaim it to the world. All right, but in our daily lives, there's a way that we conduct ourselves. And we don't got to tell everybody about it, especially at school and stuff. But when you continue in Romans 12, I'm going to read 18 again. It says, if it be possible, as such as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. Okay, so we ain't supposed to be avenging ourselves. Somebody does you dirty. You don't want to go up to them and fight them. All right, because again, that's Satan's play. This world is Satan's playground. All right, and his job is to get us off of our square. So if somebody riles you up enough and does this enough, and you go up there and you get hostile and fight, all right, that's ultimately a recipe for disaster and a recipe for failure. All right, and you can say that you might not have instigated it, but if you're going around telling these people what you believe in, just in your daily lives, at your job and everything, not on the highways, because that's our platform. We got YouTube, we got the highways and the hedges, all right, and we got the brotherhood we can vent to and complain to about particular things, all right, but in your daily lives, again, as I was read in Proverbs 12, a prudent man concealeth knowledge, all right, so one can say that you were provoked to act that way, but a lot of times Jake does the provoking by saying things that they don't even need to say, giving knowledge that to people that they don't deserve. That's why Yahweh Shai said, give not what is holy unto the dogs, and and give not thy pearls unto swine. And that's loosely paraphrasing. It says they will trample over it. And you see it. Okay. And a lot of it can lead to wrath. I remember just a quick testimony, man, about this is before I was coming out and everything. This is this is like 2012. And I found out I was an Israelite in 2012, and a guy I went to college with up in Ohio, he said something about how you go to the Catholic church, and I'm over there trying to be on fire. Hey, they be raping them boys in the Catholic church, and it got to the point where, man, it was words back and forth. He's making threats that he wants to come down to Dallas and fight me, this, that, and the third. I'm talking about it got crazy. You know what I'm saying? I was being cool about it. I was being cool, calm, and collective, but I was still saying things to push his buttons. You know what I'm saying? And he was feeding, his anger was being fed off the little smart remarks that I was saying to him, and it wasn't a good look for me. And again, this is back in 2012, but it wasn't a good look for me, but at the end of the day, going into it, if somebody does you wrong and you stay spiritual in the spirit, the Lord is going to fight for you. Like the Lord fought for this young man in McKinley High School. It says, dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give peace unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine. I will repay, saith the Lord. Okay. So that's something that we always got to keep in our mind and our mental Rolodex, especially since we know persecution is coming more on a higher level. And this article right here is also a sign of persecution coming. All right. This also shows us that persecution is coming. That Adam Abbott guy from from their organization that they're a part of, even though he was tripping, he was going off. All right. But the bigger picture is that's a sign persecution is coming. And I'm alluding to when that young man, Adam Abbott, got hemmed up by the cops and arrested, but he slapped the cop's hand away. Wasn't being in the spirit. And he ended up getting hauled off by the police. If he would have just stayed in the spirit and dealt with the cops cordially, that could have been prevented, because we've had cops come up to us and, I'm not going to say it was that extreme, but if you deal accordingly, the spirit of the Lord can protect you. Now, we know that we're going to be in jail when the time comes, but that's up to the Lord. All right. He knows when. OK, our job is to live peaceably among all men, as the scriptures say. All right. And knowing vengeance is the Most High's. OK. But for you younger guys, you younger women that are coming in, you don't got to tell everybody. You don't got to tell everybody. And also, too, when you do come into this truth, like I said earlier in this lesson, you are going to be attacked more. You're going to be sifted more. Things are going to happen to you more that are very strange, but you got to roll with the punches. Just like this young man right here. All right. When I say this young man, he thought it was cute. Jake think it's cute before they get afflicted and really got to be tested. And you got to put what you believe on the line. Okay. Matter of fact, I'm going to read this here in Isaiah 59 and I'll end it here. This is Isaiah chapter 59, verse 15. And it says, yea, truth faileth, and he that departeth from evil maketh himself a prey. So when you come into this knowledge, when you're given the names Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, and you believe those names to be the names of the Father and the Son, with all sincerity and in all truth and all heart, strange things are going to happen. All right. Because you're departing from the world. You're departing from these worldly affairs. You're departing from pepperoni pizza, something that the whole world dang near indulges in. You're departing from all these things. So you are going to be tempted and tested when you come into this knowledge, when you come into this truth, when you're equipped with this understanding. Okay. So it says, yea, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. And the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. All right. So we're seeing all this wickedness take place. The righteous are made of prey due to turn into righteousness. And it's going to come a time very soon where the Lord is going to judge the world, starting with you these Israelites that ain't following his ways, that don't believe, that are being demons, like that head coach, like that coaching staff. That was only a minute example of the Lord's judgment. And he had them coaches fired. Just wait until holy hell rains down on this place. They're going to look and consider about what they said about his prophets, about his anointed, about what they've done. And they're going to be able to consider it in that day and see that they was wrong. Okay. The scriptures say, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm, man. That young man could be of the Lord's anointed. Okay. And they forced him to eat that whole pizza, and took disciplinary action. Now look, they got fired, man. So call Halal Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. This truth is spreading like a righteous plague, as it was said earlier in this lesson. And the Lord is fighting for his servants. He's fighting for us, man. So continue to believe. Hey, a lot of things are happening right now in the spirit. Just stay girt up into this knowledge. Try to do your best so you can stay protected by the angels. Do your best so you're protected by the angels, because we're going to be out of here sooner than we believe, as Paul said in Romans 13. So I'm going to end it off there. Lord's willing, this was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing. Many salutations unto you elect across the four winds of this earth, fulfilling your lots in all truth and all sincerity. Shalom. And also, Salakia, I want to correct myself as well, because I misspoke. All right. For those animals that we are supposed to eat. All right. If they are cloven, if they're cloven footed and they eat of the grass and such, you can eat it like cattle. All right. Like oxen. OK. But anything that pigs are cloven footed, but they don't eat of the cud. They eat anything. They don't eat of the grass and stuff. They eat anything. All right. Now, if it's singular, like, if it's not cloven footed, all right, if it has hooves, we ain't supposed to eat it. You don't eat horse. All right. I just wanted to put that out there, too, just as a little reminder. OK, shalom, shalom.